Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if this is your first time. Today we're going on a full deep dive journey into one of the most brilliant, twisted mystery horror shows on television. If you're not completely caught up through the season 3 final, this video is 100% spoiler heavy. We're talking every major death, every revelation, every cycle-shattering twist. So hit the pause, binge these 3 seasons, and come back. You've been warned. We're breaking down everything that has happened across season 1 through 3 with pinpoint accuracy, while exploring the rich symbolism and mythology behind the town itself, the monsters, the trees, the boy in white, and the bigger cosmic puzzle. This is the ultimate theory video to get you perfectly prepared for season 4, which drops on MGM Plus this Sunday, April 19th, 2026. I pulled straight from Canon Events, official details, and the show's own breadcrumbs. Now, no fan fiction, just logical evidence-based theories that tie it all together. Grab your talismans, turn the lights low, and let's step into the nightmare. Right from episode 1, From throws us into a seemingly ordinary American township that is anything but. Anyone who drives past the fallen tree on the road gets trapped. Roads loop back on themselves, the outside world disappears, and every single night the creatures crawl out of the forest to hunt. Symbolically, this town is a pocket dimension prison, part Celtic fairyland, part purgatory limbo, and part Lovecraftian experiment. It's a place where time and space are warped. Electricity flows with no visible source, and hope itself is the fuel that keeps the nightmare running. The town doesn't just trap bodies, it traps souls in an endless cycle of arrival, suffering, and failed escape. Methodically, it feels like a corrupt fairy realm where humans are playthings for ancient rules that must be obeyed, or a Gnostic-style material trap created by a demigod figure who feeds on human despair and belief. The consistent looping roads and impossible geographs scream you are not meant to leave. This is a place built on sacrificial rebirth. The town literally sustains itself by consuming innocence, hope, and memory. We arrive with the Matthews family, Jim, Tabitha, and their kids, Julie and Ethan, along with cocky tech guy Jade and his friend Toby. Almost immediately, they learn the rules. Stay inside after dark or the creatures will come and get you. The boy in white is our first major mythological figure. This spiritual child in pristine white appears only in daylight to certain people. Ethan, Sarah, Victor, later Tabitha. He whispers clues, guides people towards portals, and seems to be trying to help. Theory time, he is most certainly the spirit or remnant of one of the original sacrificed children. In Celtic Asadi or fairy lore, children taken by the Fae often become guides or tricksters. Here he is the lone beacon of innocence trying to atone for the town's original sin, the mass sacrifice of kids that created this entire nightmare realm. He's not all-powerful, but he's the counterbalance to the darkness. Then comes the monsters. These aren't zombies or vampires in the classic sense. They're intelligent, sadistic, shape-shifting entities that wear the faces of people you've lost. They smile while they kill. They know your secrets, and they require an invitation to enter a home. Classic Fae/demonic rule. They don't just eat you, they psychologically torture you first. In season 3, we get to see them evolve. They free the town's livestock to create famine, then lure Boyd and Tanshin into a barn, handcuff Boyd, and slowly murder Tanshin right in front of him to break his spirit. Symbolism, they're the Joggin shadow made flesh. They require fear, every buried guilt, every human darkness given teeth and claws. No Bible exists in town, hinting at a demonic or anti-divine origins. They sleep in underground tunnels carved with this mysterious symbol, a circle with interesting lines, suggesting they're the corrupt result of a ritual gone wrong. The talismans, those carved stones with the exact same symbol, are the only protection. Boyd discovers their power in season 1 when they force the monsters to obey the invitation rule.
May I come in?
You're one of those old-fashioned revenants, aren't you? You can't come in unless I invite you in.
Instead of smashing doors, they're pagan wards, north ruins, evil eye equivalent, but here's the twist. Their power seems tied to collective belief. The town weaponizes hope. The talismans work as long as the people still have faith they will. By the end of season 1, we've lost Father Khatri, seen Sarah's violent hallucinations, and heard the radio voice that summons the man in yellow, our first hint that something bigger is pulling the strings. On to season 2, we start off with a bus full of new arrivals that crashes the party, but with that we get a whole new cast of characters, including Mary, Tilly, Bacta, Randall, and Elgin. With them, new developments start happening in town and the mythology explodes. Enter the faraway trees. Twisted, rooted, covered portals teleporting people to random locations. And when I say random, I mean random. When you enter a tree, you can end up in a random location in town that just so happens to be in the past. Or worse, you can be teleported into a solid object, like a concrete wall. These things are dangerous because you never know where or when you'll end up. Boyd gets pulled into one and ends up in a well that just so happens to be in the town's past. Tabitha later uses in the season 2 final to end up at the lighthouse. The inspiration for these trees are straight out of Norse mythology, specifically Yggdrasil, the world tree connecting realms, and Celtic fairy trees. Victor's childhood drawings reveal the horrific truth. The trees grow from the hope and blood of sacrificed children poured into the earth's roots. The innocent energy was twisted into portals instead of freedom. Damn. The bottle tree, covered in glass bottles that capture screams, draws from Southern Gothic and African folklore, where bottle trees trap evil spirits. And from it holds the echoes of every tormented soul, feeding on the town's endless cycle of suffering. Jade becomes the mad prophet, tormented by visions of the symbol. That algar glyph appears everywhere, in roots, tunnels, journals, even dreams. It's likely an alchemical blinding sigil or a literal map of the town's layout, representing the unity of opposites, life and death, human and monster, hope and desire. Victor, our eternal child, witnessed Peter Pan trapped in hell. Watch the original ritual, children sacrificed so the adults could achieve immortality. Instead, it created the monsters and locked everyone in this pocket dimension. The season ends with a smiling monster killed, only for hints that it will return. The cycle is restarting. Now we head on to season 3. This is where the show goes nuclear. We learn the devastating truth. Tabitha is the reincarnation of Miranda, Victor's mother, and Jade is the reincarnation of Christopher. They lived this exact nightmare before. They had a daughter who was part of the original sacrifice. The haunting lullaby and the music box repeated the words Anakui, which literally means remember. The town forces reincarnated souls to relive the trauma until they finally break the cycle. The man in yellow fully appears, suited, authoritative, terrifying. He's a king in yellow style Lovecraftian who just happens to be a harbinger who warns characters stop digging and knowledge comes at a cost. In the final, he kills Jim, confirming he's the voice on the radio and possibly the architect or overseer of the entire prison. He embodies the danger of forbidden knowledge, like Eden's tree of knowledge, and maybe the demigore keeping souls trapped. The monsters evolve again. They don't just kill, they starve the town by freeing animals, then psychologically dismantle the strongest character, Boyd. In the gut-wrenching final, pregnant Fatima gives birth to a smiling monster that just so happens to be the smiling monster they killed in season's 2 final, proving the creatures are the twisted, immortal result of the original adults who sacrificed their own children for eternal life. The ritual backfired spectacularly. Tabitha escapes the nightmare realm to what seems to be the real world, only for it to be another false hope. How did she even get to the real world? By getting pushed by the boy in white on top of the lighthouse, of course. How did she get to the lighthouse? By going through a faraway tree. The lighthouse is a symbol of false enlightenment, and the destroyed music box is a broken spell that shows that the town's rules can be shifted, but the cycle remains. Boyd's bell-ringing ritual, Fatima's twisted immaculate pregnancy, Julie's belief time loop experiences, everything screams Sasamara. Buddhist endless rebirth mixed with corrupt grime style logic. Now let's get to the grand underlying theory, what the show is really all about. From masterfully blends Celtic Fae lore, North World Tree mythology, Gnostic purgatory, and American goth into one cohesive nightmare. The town was created when a group of adults performed a ritual sacrificing their children for immortality. Instead of heaven, they got eternal night, immortal monsters, and a pocket dimension that feeds on 3 things: hope, memory, and suffering. The boy in white is the spirit of one of those children, a guide trying to help new arrivals remember and break the cycle. The faraway and bottle trees literally grew from the innocent spilled blood of those children and their hope. The monsters are the original adults, now cursed to hunt in the dark forever. The symbol is the binding spell that keeps it all sealed. The man in yellow may be the original ritual ruler or the entity that granted their wish, now enforcing the rule with sadistic glee. Duality is the core theme. Day and night, hope and desire, human and monster, memory and forgetting. Every character is forced to confront their shadow. Boyd's leadership, Tabitha and Jade's reincarnated quest, Victor's drawings, they're all pieces of the same puzzle. Heading into season 4, the answers we're hoping to get from the show, with Tabitha and Jade now remembering their past lives. Will they finally crack the symbol and end the cycle? Is the man in yellow the final boss, or just another lair? Will the boy in white fully reveal his endgame? The teaser footage hints at deeper underground exploration, literally going into the roots of the horror. From Isn't Just Another Monster Show, it's a methodical mosaic that asks, what if our worst fears, our deepest guilt, and our most desperate hopes were all trapped together in one eternal night? The symbolism, fey rules, reincarnated memories, sacrificial trees that trap evil spirits, and have the ability to teleport you anywhere makes every rewatch reveal new layers. If this theory breakdown fired you up for season 4, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your biggest theory in the comments. What do you think the boy in white really is? Is the town fey, purgatory, or something even darker? Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and whatever you do, don't open the door after dark.